What's up, guys? We're back, and what surprising results so far today?
You know, I would say especially Sleep versus Sulky is pretty surprising, but Sulky didn't prepare as well as Sleep for that match. There's no doubt about that in my mind.
Sleep had his numbers.
That's true. For match number 2, Deer versus DRG, I think that was always going to be a little bit closer. Deer is a really strong Protoss. He consistently places amongst the best Kespa players. I guess technically now he's not in Kespa, as Sol left Kespa, but you know what I mean.
No, he was from that, though.
Yeah,
originally.
He's consistently up there at the top, and he played really well against DRG and ended up winning. So here he is against Sleep. Now, if Sleep can outsmart Deer here, that's super impressive. Like, if Sleep goes to a round of 8, like, what?
The thing about Deer is that its playstyle is so unique. You're really preparing as much against Deer as you are against a Protoss. And, with this being a Zerg-heavy group, I wonder if Sleep focused a little bit more on the ZBZ. I'm wondering if maybe Sleep just has some cheeses or something like that he wants to try here. We'll find out soon.
I'm really excited to see it, but he's such a smart player. This might work out for him, Tasteless.
Yeah, well, anything could happen, as we see so far, since we're in the winners match, and we actually have these two players unexpectedly playing against each other here. Deer and Sleep, our only Protoss and our underdog Zerg here for our third best of 3 here at the GSL Codex. In the bottom left starting location, we have the only Protoss here in this group. He is
So Deer.
The other players viewed him as the weakest in the round of 16. Can he prove them wrong here today? He is
Azubu Sleep.
What's up, Artie?
Well, I'm having a really good time watching very good games so far.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about Sleep. It's so funny because this guy should probably have way more fans than he does, which is, I think, very few.
Yeah.
Because you always hear people on the internet, they're like, use more Nidus Worms or something. And basically what they're crying out for is some genius player that outsmarts everyone in this RTS game, real-time strategy. The thing is, real-time is a bigger part of it than strategy at the top level, because everyone knows the strategy, basically. So real-time, the part, your mechanics, how good you are at hitting your injects and macroing, keeping up with everything, is what gives us, generally speaking, the widest range of top-end players. These mechanical geniuses like DRG or Innovation or Flash or anyone like that. But Sleep is that guy that everyone wants to see do well. He's the guy that is actually sitting there with... He's still got very good mechanics, right? Don't get me wrong.
No, I mean, it's some of the best in the world, but it's not close to, for instance, Innovation or something.
You can actually watch, and his money will go up in the late game, and he will have high-energy queens and stuff like that. And maybe he's not as good in that way, but the guy, he does his homework, he studies it, he does some smart moves, he creates intelligent layouts for his best of 3s. So I don't know. I feel like he should definitely have more fans out there, because he is that kind of...
Well, he's this guy that wins through guile. He's
Clark Kenting his way through the GSL.
Clark Kent?
Yes.
Superman's alter ego?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, he's Clark Kenting his way through.
I don't know about this.
Superman would be Sulky. Clark Kent would be Sleep.
Well, Clark Kent, I think, was... I don't know about that. I don't know how I feel about this one, Artosis.
He's Clark Kenting
I was going to say he's maybe MacGyvering his way through.
I can't give him MacGyver Zerg. He's not MacGyver Zerg. These are planned out ahead of time.
He's not Chuck Norris.
MacGyver, spur of the moment, a situation he's never seen before, comes up with a crazy way to deal with it, and it works. We don't have a MacGyver Zerg.
He's Ocean's 11ing his way through?
Maybe. I like the way I said it, but that's not bad either.
We have
So he's going to have a Ling come up to the wall and fake a heart attack, then fly in the back of the Muses. That's Ocean's 11 your way through.
Yeah, there you go.
Flies an Overlord over, makes a Nidus Worm in the main base, but only to get a drone in to hide in the corner for a hatchery later on. Now that hatchery's going to go down when the Hydras are actually dancing at the third base. and his opponent is like, what is going on, just staring at the dance, being confused by it.
Wow.
That's what's going on. That's
you go.
Ocean loving your way through.
Did you ever see Ocean's 12?
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's good. It's not. I mean, the original is the best one, but it's good.
And there's Ocean's 13, correct?
I believe so, and I'm sure I saw it, but I don't really remember. I don't know.
Yeah, it probably wasn't that good then.
No, I mean, the thing is, I don't really remember any of them that much except for Ocean's 11 because I saw that like 90 times. But the other two, like I saw them both, they were good.
Yeah, I saw Matrix 3. I don't really remember what happened. I just remember I woke up and
The robot face.
I was
That's all you
crying
need to
and
remember.
I had peed myself.
The
That's all I
robot-
remember. Yeah, the
robot
robot face. Yes.
All right, so
that was when I I used the Men in Black tool to erase my memory.
we have the Stargate going up into Phoenixes, and we do have that really quick +1 again. Good chance we're going to see the same build as we saw against DRG, but this game, Sleep didn't get like a quick Zergling speed. So I think that if we do see that same build, we're going to see a faster third base from Deer. But we'll see. It doesn't necessarily have to be the exact same build. From Sleep, though, has started his Zergling speed. He's got a very solid drone count right now. We'll have to see how well he defends. What type of Zerg are you? Do you make 2 spores or 1 in each line?
That's the kind of. These are the questions you got to ask, though. Seriously, you're gonna, make sure to play it safe. If they only make 1 or something like that, you can start making a lot more Phoenixes. To harass. If you make 2, they can opt to not make as many Phoenixes, and then you may have overmade defense.
Ooh, all right. So never mind. This is a completely different build. He is going for the 7-gate +1. And the 7-gate +1 plus trying to supply cap his opponent. Right now the thing is the build looks pretty similar. The only thing that could have set him off is if his Zergling poked up there and he saw the +1 attack a little bit quicker than he expected.
Yeah.
Because it started before the first Phoenix, which is pretty quick for a defensive play. So
this, again, if he gets it up Overlords and supply caps him, this attack can just wipe the Zerg out.
Well, the thing is there's no pylon on the map yet. We do have Zerglings being made right now by Sleep. He has gained that 1-1. This is pretty all in. Like, he's got to get some serious damage done with this attack because Sleep is setting himself up for an awesome mid and late game. Lot of Zerglings on the way, but +1 is done, and that +1 carapace is not going to finish before this game is likely decided.
All right, probably one more warping round here, and the push will begin. He didn't catch that Overlord in the bottom left, which could have helped right now.
Certainly. Any supply capping you can do is a big, big deal. All right, it is time, Tasteless. He's moving out. A lot of Lings going out into the center of the map. Does clear the Ling up. Brings the probe now. Going to have to start setting up some pylons.
Yep, first pylon will go down over here.
Okay, so he should know exactly what's going on now. This army, he cannot engage with these Zerglings. Oh, but he's going to try.
Oh,
okay.
man.
Just tries to catch bait a lot of force fields, basically. Still only on Zerglings. Ooh, this... You know what? When his 1-1 finishes, everything changes here. He's making 4 spines right now as well. But right now we have an engagement going down. Those Zerglings getting up, and he does trap quite a few of them. He's lost a lot of Zerglings so far.
Yeah, he just needs to get into this location over here. Spines are coming.
Well, can he actually get these spines up in time is the question.
The armor's about to finish.
All right, well, that's some good transfusions. He's really buying a lot of time right now, but will he have enough Zerglings left over at the end? That 1-1's still not done. And there we go. The +1 carapace does finish, but he's lost so many Lings.
I think he thought he had that timed out a little bit better than he did. Because it looks like now Deer should just win this.
Yeah, he has enough. It doesn't... Well, you know what? That is a lot of Zerglings still being made, but there's still a lot of force fields. He still has a lot of lifts, a lot of Stalkers in here, quite a few Zealots. He's making some Swarm Hosts. That is the desperation move if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, seriously.
Well,
but even at this point in time, to get Swarm Hosts out, it's like, well... I mean...
thing is, Swarm Hosts, depending on where they pop out, I don't know, I guess they can slow it a little bit, but he'll just... At this point, these small amounts of Swarm Hosts, you just ignore them and kill the Locust and keep killing stuff.
Exactly. It's not like it's going to make you run away.
Yeah, it's not enough.
All right, Locust is out, or Swarm Hosts out.
Oh, and Nexus at the top. Now that's probably for a recall later on. Or a Nexus cannon to siege the hatchery.
Well, we should be seeing GG momentarily here. And simply be going into our next game. I mean, it was a straightforward timing attack that Deer had planned out well and executed even better. Second Nexus being put there, GG. Deer, the Nex is clearly a diss there from Deer telling Sleep to get out of the game.
Yeah. You know what? Sleep, he opened up with a pretty good strategy. He needs to be a little bit more on top of the scouting. Realistically, if you pay a huge amount of attention, if someone goes Forge Expand, you can figure out what they're doing to a huge degree just by when the +1 starts. It's like just seeing if that +1 starts, like immediately, at like right around the time the core is finishing, then it's going to be a +1 like Zealot attack, let's say. If it's starting a little bit after that, well, the thing is, you need to basically know your exact times. You need to scout that core, figure that out.
Yeah.
Or the Forge. I guess that's where
Forge,
the +1 is.
yeah. You see the +1 coming out that quickly, and you see him trying to, bully your overlords. That's when you know you got to start preparing for something like that.
Yeah. It's a hard thing to actually figure out.
The 1-1 when he attacked, I think he had a few seconds off with the timing, which makes all the difference in the world.
It did.
He attacked in there, and then right about when that battle ended, that's when the armament raid actually finished.
He was put into a terrible spot. Basically, all the 1-1 Zergling builds died to +1, 7 gates, pretty handily.
We may have a delay here. Looks like Sleep is trying to flag down somebody, and he's not in our
he's not in the game
yet. So we don't know what the problem is, but we'll try to get this resolved as soon as possible.
Yeah, he got a rough matchup for the build. Like, for instance, a +1 7 gate does very well against a 2-base double Evo Zergling build, which was popular for a little bit, isn't as much anymore. Whereas the 3-base is going to be able to fall to the quick Phoenixes into that. It's just kind of like, the builds kind of line up with the Protoss winning in those two situations.
I'm curious here. Sleep, Deer must have actually prepared so many anti-Zerg builds. I don't think we're going to see him do one build from that we've already seen so far.
Maybe
I
not.
think it's just going to be... Well, this is one of the advantages you get when you're the only Protoss in a group like this, is that you are able to just only focus on this match and focus on every possible... I don't know if he's built specific for his opponent or if it's just for the map or what, but...
Yeah, it's hard to say if they're specific, but I would say that as far as specific builds go, that's a good one for Sleep, because it's like very, very sharp to go in and hit there, harass the overlords, and hit with that +1, because if Sleep doesn't hit his drones perfectly, figure out what's going on, and make units in time, he's going to fall apart against that.
And that's not even Sleep's strength to begin with.
Exactly. So he's playing into strengths, his own strengths and the weaknesses of Sleep.
Yeah.
Whereas against like a Sulky, would that have worked? Not as sure.
Yeah, not very clear. It seems like, for instance, Deer versus DRG, it was much more about the builds have to be out there. It has to be builds DRG probably hasn't seen before. Whereas going up against Sleep, you'd say, well, mechanically he's probably the weakest in the group. So if I just hit him early on with something that he has to have played perfectly up until that moment.
Exactly. You have to have, to stop a build like that, when you open up for the 3-base like Sleep did, you do have to play mechanically basically a perfect game. You have to hit your drones just right, units at the right time, all that stuff. So Sleep had a hard time with that.
He did. Oh, and it looks like our game is now starting.
There we
go.
go.
So we'll be going now into game number 2 here. So far, Deer looking unstoppable, but you can't count Sleep out. He already did beat Sulky.
Anything could happen here. If he can actually figure out what Deer is doing early enough, and it's not too sharp, he's going to have a decent shot, I think.
I think, I might want to see Sleep go with some more timings here or something like that.
Oh, some sort of all-in or something like that?
Nidus Worm even, something like that. We'll see. Our map's going to be Aklon Waste, and the game is now loaded up. We're here in Seoul, Korea, where the best pro gamers in the world reside. They compete here on the most popular and successful esports show of all time, the GSL Code S.